Good morning, Unity community. That's not too bad. I'm your host, Shirley Thompson, and we welcome you to our gathering here at Unity Center in beautiful British Columbia. We warmly welcome all people, all faiths, and all lifestyles. And today we stand upon the unceded lands of the Musqueam Nation, noble guardians of these lands since time immemorial. It's here that we gather to learn, grow, and celebrate our oneness with Spirit. And if you're joining us by Zoom or YouTube, welcome. Our mission here at Unity is very simple: to build personal and community well-being through universal spiritual teachings and practices. So let's get into it. Please join me now in our opening invocation. All together now, there is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent. And now please rise and join us in singing this morning's group song, God is Everywhere by Jack Fowler.
I see joy, I see peace, I see goodness surrounding me. I see love in every breath I breathe. I see God in everything. I see happiness, I see freedom. I see the beauty that lives in me. I see perfection in what life brings. I see God in everything. I feel joy, I feel peace, I feel the goodness surrounding me. I feel love in every breath I breathe. I feel God in everything. I feel happiness, I feel freedom, I feel the beauty that lives in me. I feel perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I choose joy, I choose peace, I choose the goodness surrounding me. I choose love in every breath I breathe. I choose God in everything. I choose happiness, I choose freedom, I choose the beauty that lives in me. I choose perfection in what life brings. I feel God in everything. I know joy, I know peace, I know the goodness surrounding me. I know love in every breath I breathe. I know God's in everything. I know happiness, I know freedom, I know the beauty that lives in me. I know perfection in what life brings. I know God's in everything. I know God's in everything. Namaste. 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 Wants to keep on playing. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nathan. So today's Unity Daily Word is appreciation. I express appreciation for my many blessings. It has been said that what I appreciate appreciates. The more I give thanks for what I have, the more blessings I will discover. Practicing gratitude in all circumstances helps me realize how abundantly blessed I am. When I remember all the good that God is, more good is revealed to me. Taking a breath, I give thanks for life. Opening my eyes, I give thanks for the clarity of spiritual vision. Listening deeply, I give thanks for divine wisdom. With each bite of food, every sip of water, I feel grateful for my body and physical senses. There is so much to appreciate, from the small everyday things to life's most grand events. Giving thanks with my whole heart brings me joy. I practice appreciation for all that I am, all that I have, and all that I do. And from Psalm 9, verse 1, I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will tell of all your wonderful deeds. So today we are welcoming Imam Jamal Rahman to Unity, where he will be sharing the importance of teaching stories. Now let's warmly open ourselves to receive what we need most from his message with 5 powerful affirmations. All together now. My heart recognizes truth when it is spoken. I am connected to the wisdom of all life. Peace is my foundation, and clarity is my guide. I listen with an open heart and a curious mind. I am awake to the sacred presence within and around me. Thank you, and so it is. It's my pleasure to welcome and introduce today's speaker, Imam Jamal Rahman. He's a popular speaker and author of numerous books on Islam, Sufi spirituality, and interfaith relations. Along with his interfaith amigos, he has been featured in the New York Times, CBS News, BBC, and various NPR programs. Jamal is co-founder and Muslim Sufi Imam in Interfaith Community Sanctuary and adjunct faculty at Seattle University. Please join me in welcoming Jamal Rahman.
Thank you. So, thank you. Thank you. So I do meditation now. Yes. So my dear friends, short meditation. If you kindly close your eyes. And then focus on your nostril and simply be mindful of your in-breath and your out-breath. Just this much. Being present with the breath for a few moments. And now, my friends, letting go of this, and this time, please focus on the lowest part of your spine, the sacrum area. This activates that first chakra. Chakra means wheel-like opening. And as you focus on the lowest part of your spine, please make an intention. Intention equals action in the subtle realms, to send a beautiful cord of divine light, any color, from the base of the spine, going down, way down, deep, deep, deep into Mother Earth, connecting us to the womb of Mother Earth, and we feeling centered, grounded, a sense of belonging. And now, let go of this. And this time, please focus on the crown of your head, the crown chakra, you might say. And then make an intention to send a beautiful cord of light, any color that you choose, flowing from the crown chakra, going up, way up. From the crown chakra, from the crown of the head going up, this cord of divine light, higher, even higher, even higher, piercing those mysterious realms and connecting us to the heart of heaven. Please feel that bonding with mystery. And now, letting go of that also, this time, please focus on your physical heart. Our heart has been yearning, aching to connect with us. If it works for you, only if it works for you, please touch your heart. Put your hand over your heart. One hand, both hands. And just feel the sweetness of your heart in you. And this time, connect to the heartbeat. This is an entire meditation by itself, bonding with the rhythm, the beat of the heart. And now, through the heart, please listen to this beautiful revelation from Spirit to us, where God, Spirit, tells humanity, "Beloved one," says God, "I cannot be contained in the space of the earth. I cannot be contained in the space of the heavens, but I can be contained in the space of the pure, loving heart." Just becoming aware that Spirit is outside of us, but also inside of us, inside our heart. Divine heart is inside human heart. The space of the heart is actually infinite. And now, for a few moments, this is the main meditation. As you focus on the heart, tell the heart with feeling, "I love you," or "You are loved." "I love you," or "You are loved." Whatever feels right to you. But keep saying those words again and again and again and again into the heart, into that infinite spaciousness. "I love you. You are loved." And as you keep saying those words, "I love you," or "You are loved," a most beautiful divine vibration filled with unconditional love, divine healing, empowerment. All these blessings are going from the tongue into the mouth, into the throat, into the chest, deep into the heart, even deeper now into what is called the hidden, and then even deeper into the hidden of the hidden, astonishingly, amazingly loving us, blessing us, healing us, empowering us. And now stop saying anything at all, just for a few seconds, a minute, just stay with your heart. And I'll do a chant from the Quran. At the end of that, please feel free to open your eyes and come into awareness. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. One more time. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. And opening your eyes. Thank you. Thank you.
Land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Ooh, someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why can't I? When I see trees of green and I see red roses too, I watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. While I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day, the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. Well, I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow.
My dear friends, what a joy it is to be back here again. Back on a pilgrimage to Unity of Vancouver, one more time, wonderful. So I want to tell you, I want to start by saying that I am invested in interfaith. I'm a Muslim, I'm rooted in Islam. I find that when I'm open to the beauty and wisdom of other traditions, this waters my Islamic roots and makes me a more complete, developed human being. Which is why we say interfaith is not about conversion, it is about completion, becoming a more developed, complete human being. The second thing I wanted to say is in my training, one modality of training was just to meditate on some teaching stories or some poetry or sacred verses, like you meditate on a koan in Buddhism, and allow it to go deep inside of you. So it, you might say, as Rumi might say, it splashes in your chest, it perfumes your heart, it impacts your being. And there's a wonderful saying in Sufism, which is spiritual Islam, that once the blush of the beloved graces you, there's no going back to becoming a green apple. So let me start with Hinduism. In Hinduism, I love this wonderful prayer of that peasant. Before he or she goes to work, these wonderful figurines of gods and goddesses, and the peasant says, "Oh God, I'm told that you are genderless, you're beyond form. I'm a human being, I don't understand what this means really. For now, I just beg you, please, be here in these forms. I'm told that you are omnipresent. I don't understand what it really means, but I beg you, please, for now, just be present in this place with me. I'm told you're beyond praise. I don't fully understand what that means, but I just beg you, please accept my simple, humble praise." That's a beautiful puja, worship, prayer of the peasant. So what is God? If I look into Hinduism, unutterable, inconceivable, indescribable. I love that Hindu insight about God. The eyes cannot see it. But it is that by which the eyes see. The mind cannot think it, but it is that by which the mind thinks. The tongue cannot utter it, but it is that by which the tongue utters. The ears cannot hear it, but it is that by which the ears hear. Just be with that insight. So how do you connect with God? I don't know. I mean, there are many ways of connecting with God, but I love this wonderful story of Ramakrishna, that 19th century mystic who had a wonderful disciple named Vivekananda. Anybody heard of Vivekananda? You have these Vedanta societies all over America. And one day they were bathing in the river, and Vivekananda, the disciple, told Ramakrishna, "You know, I've been doing all those meditations and prayers. I don't seem to be connecting with God. I don't feel what Muslims would call the glow of presence." And what did Ramakrishna do? He was young at that time, strong. He put his hand on Vivekananda's head and dunked him inside the water. And he couldn't breathe and was flailing his arms, but he kept him for a long time and finally let go. And he said, "Before you get angry, you know, Vivekananda, when you want to connect with God, seek God with the same intensity with which you wanted to connect with your breath, God will come to you." That in Islam is called increased necessity. It's a cry of the heart. "Oh God, I shall cry to thee and cry to thee until the milk of thy loving kindness boils over." In Hinduism, as in all other traditions, there is a practice of silence. There is no such thing as an Islamic silence, a Jewish silence, a Christian silence. It's just silence. But how do you explain the beauty, the majesty, the power of silence? I love the Hindu story. of a father and son who is by a tree, a fruit tree. And the son says, Father, where does this fruit come from? This fruit, this magical fruit, where does it come from? Father says, son, go deeper. Look inside the fruit. The son cuts the fruit and says, Father, I just see a seed inside the fruit. Father says, go deeper, cut the seed. The son cuts the seed. He says, Father, I see nothing. It's empty. It's silent. It's a void. Ah, says the father, tattvam asi, and that is the source of everything. From that void, from that silence, comes everything. The power, the majesty, the beauty of the void, the silence. Well, meditation, repeating a mantra again and again and again. We have it in Islam, it's called zikr. Truly in the remembrance of God do hearts find rest. If you repeat a sacred mantra again and again and again and again, in Islam, the sages say, oh God, I repeated your name inside of me so often that little by little you arrived, and little by little I departed. But I love the Hindu explanation of the power of mantra, repeating a word again and again. There's a wonderful story in India. Centuries ago, they had festivals, which we still have in India, where elephants are very popular in festivals. But what is the problem with elephants? The trunks are always swaying like this. It lashes against onlookers or their flimsy carts with food on it. It gets overturned. So these organizers, almost out of desperation, they went to the mountains to ask the sages, you're very wise people, very spiritual. Can you tell us how we can stop this nuisance of the trunk swing back and forth all the time? They said, simple. Really? What do we do? They said, put a stick of any size in the trunk of the elephant, see what happens. And they put a stick in the trunk of the elephant, and immediately it became less and less and less and less and less and less. How did you know that? The sages said, we've been doing this with the minds of human beings. Plant a mantra or a word or sentence that you repeat again and again and again and again. And what happens is slows down what is called the rattle of the cage of monkeys. This thought, this image, that image, it just slows it down. That's one beautiful outcome of mantra meditation. The other one is, if you repeat a sacred word within yourself again and again and again and again and again, the metaphor, not only in Hinduism, other traditions also, is like a vat of dye, D-Y-E, color, a pot of color. You take a cloth, dip it inside, again and again and again and again. You take it out, it has a beautiful color, the cloth, but it fades away. What happens if you dip it again and again and again and just keep on doing it, keep on doing it? There comes a time when that color on the cloth becomes color fast. So if I repeat a mantra, a sacred mantra, again and again and again within me for days and weeks and months and years, it colors my being. It impacts me very, very deeply. Just be with that for a few moments. One last thing about Hinduism, about service. How beautiful, how powerful, how majestic being of authentic service to God's creation. I'm from Bangladesh. I'm a Bengali. There's a wonderful Indian poet named Tagore. Anybody heard of Tagore? Wonderful. Tagore, 20th century, he has this wonderful poetry. I slept and dreamt life was joy. I awoke and found life was service. I served, and lo, service was joy. Just be with it. Ask yourself, in what ways am I being of service? Okay, that was Hinduism. Buddhism. The story of this young man who was a prince who saw 4 passing sights and was very disturbed. I wouldn't get into that, it's a long story. But what disturbed him? A question in his mind, a young man in his 20s, whose name was Siddhartha Gautama, northern India. What was the question that disturbed him so much after he saw 4 passing sights? Why would a mother want to give birth to a child who would inevitably grow old, become sick, and die? This is crazy. Why would a mother want to give birth to a child who would inevitably grow old, become sick, and die? And that question disturbed him so much, he went on a 7-year journey to find the answer. Couldn't find the answer, sat under a tree, and finally the answers came from within him. The 4 Noble Truths and the Eightfold Path, and he became the Buddha. Buddha is not his name, Buddha is a title. You see in Bengali, in Sanskrit, in many languages, Buddhi, Buddha means intelligence. He acquired that enlightenment. That's why when the Buddha was asked, "Sir, are you a god? Are you a sage? Are you a wizard?" What did the Buddha reply? "No, I'm simply awake." Sufis or spiritual Muslims would say he has moved from a knowledge of the tongue to a knowledge of the heart. Ask yourself. I ask myself, I ask you, when did you awaken? A Sufi will say, when did you become a seeker? Usually because we're unmindful, we awaken to the mysteries of life and death, this extraordinary life journey, when something terrible happens to us. Death of a loved one, divorce, change of circumstances, something awakens in me. I come alive. So my friends, what splashes in my heart about Buddhism? Just one, if I take one thing, the Buddha in his first Noble Truth said, there is suffering, let's acknowledge that. It's inevitable. But what is the cause of suffering? The cause of suffering, he said, is attachment to something which is impermanent. Running after money, titles, which is very good. But if you keep running after that, that's form, that's not essence. It goes up and down. So the Buddha said, the rain could turn to gold. The rain could turn to gold, but this would not still slake your thirst. The Buddha also said, this is a person who's running after all these material situations, then is like a hunted hare or rabbit, running after desire, after money, titles. The pursuer of desire pursued. Ask yourself in your mind, in my life journey, do I make a difference between a differentiation in my pursuit between form and essence? The form could be money, titles, power. That's beautiful. But the essence is, what I really want is, I want to be loved. I want to be respected. I want to be heard. The Buddha says, it is critical we master our thoughts. He said, you are what you think. Everything that you are arises with your thoughts. Speak and act with a pure mind, and happiness follows you like your shadow follows you. Speak or act with an impure mind, sorrow follows you like the oxen cart. Your thoughts. You know, I'm thinking of this Buddhist story where there are 2 monks. It's a windy, stormy night, and a banner is fluttering in the wind, and one monk says, the banner is moving. Other one says, no, you're wrong. The wind is moving. They argue. They can't find a solution, an answer. They go to a greater sage. Who is correct? And the sage says, the mind is moving. The power of the mind, the thoughts. Another quick story from Buddhism. Again, two monks. They're traveling. They come to a stream and they find this beautiful lady there on the bank with a lovely silken dress. And she begs the monks, please, my dress will become soiled. Please carry me over to the other side. One monk immediately picks her up, goes out to the other side, leaves her there, and the two monks are walking towards their destination. And the other monk says to the monk who carried that woman, how could you do that? We are monks. We have monastic vows. You touched that woman. How could you do that? And the other monk says nothing at all. Again he starts. But brother, how could you do that? You touched the woman. We have vows. Other monk says nothing. Happens a third time. How could you do that? We have vows. You broke the vows. And finally the other monk says, brother, I picked her up, took her to the other side. I dropped her there. But you are still carrying her. The mind. Just be with that. As I look at the time, I also study Taoism. They say in Taoism, the biggest problem human beings have, they just don't know when to stop. That's part of my problem, but I still have a little bit more time. So, what more can I say about Buddhism? The Buddha, what I love that splashes in my chest. In Buddhism, they say we are all interconnected. Human beings, animals, elements of nature, the stars, the moon, we're all interconnected. In the Quran, there's a verse that says, every soul where you turn is the face of Allah. Every soul where you turn, says the Quran, every soul where you turn is the face of Allah. So here's this Buddhist Zen story, a true story. They say, I don't know if it's true, but it's a story that a Zen monk, he steps on the platform in an outdoors garden to give a sermon. And hundreds of disciples are waiting eagerly to hear this Zen monk give a sermon. And suddenly, because it's a park, a bird in the tree begins to chirp, begins to sing, a bird in the tree. And the monk becomes very quiet. Everybody else becomes very, very still, quiet. And when the bird stops chirping, the monk says, the sermon has been delivered, and steps down. Interconnection. Two stories which I like very much from Buddhism. On a moonlit night, a monk's house is burned to the ground. There's a fire, there's an accident, and the monk's house is completely burned to the ground on a moonlit night. What does a monk do? Just look at the moon and says, finally, a perfect view of the moon at night. This is, in Buddhism, it's called equanimity. Can you develop equanimity? The other story I like very much from Buddhism is the Buddha, he was 80 years old, 80, and a very poor, a blacksmith begged him, please, you're the Buddha, I want to invite you for lunch. Please come to my house, my poor little house for lunch. And the Buddha said, yes, I'll come to your house. They had lunch, but the blacksmith, whose name was Kunda, he fed him boar meat, B-O-A-R, very hard meat to digest. And this affected the Buddha's health. But the Buddha ate that meat. He was very gracious, very generous. He ate that meat, thanked Kunda, and went back, to his abode. But that hard meat affected his health, and he was dying. And his disciples were so angry with Kunda. How could you, knowing his fragile health, offer him boar meat? And the Buddha immediately stopped them and said, no, please, don't criticize him. The meal he gave me was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. Because of this meal, I'm now going into nirvana. And he sent a delegation of people to Kunda to go and tell Kunda, your meal was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. In fact, he said, one of the 2 best meals I've ever had in my life. Thank you so much for that. See, his graciousness and generosity. In Islamic spirituality, there's a verse that says, the character of a friend of God is based on nothing more than graciousness and generosity. The character of a friend of God is based on nothing more than graciousness and generosity. Ask yourself, in my life, how close of a friend am I to God because of my graciousness and generosity in my life? And by the way, nirvana. What is nirvana? The Buddha said, it's a place or it's a state of being which is unborn and will never die. Uncompounded, unmitigated, and filled with eternal joy. See, the Buddha said, I'm going to nirvana. And they said, what is nirvana? Again, I repeat to you, nirvana is unborn, was never born, will never die, uncompounded, unmitigated, and filled with eternal joy. It really is akin to what we in the monotheistic traditions call heaven. But then someone questioned the Buddha, said, Buddha, you always say that you never talk about anything unless you have personal experience of that. How do you know this about the nirvana? What did the Buddha say? I have been there. You've been there? You are here. He said, yes, I've been there, but I chose to come back for the liberation of all sentient beings. But to be able to go there, to go through samsara, the cycles of being born and reborn in life, you have to do what Sufis call the inner inconvenient work, which we'll be talking about today, this afternoon, a little bit. You see, the Buddha, what was the Buddha's last dying words? The last few words he died. Before he died, his words were, be a lamp unto yourself. Work out your salvation with diligence. Just be with that as I look at the time, and I give myself just 3 or 4 more minutes, and I'll stop. Taoism, I love Taoism. The definition of God, those who say do not know, those who know do not say. That's the definition of the invisible world. In Taoism, they say, if you purify yourself and you practice silence, the spirit of the Tao will make its home in you, and you'll be filled with what is called Wu Wei. What is Wu Wei? It's an extraordinary energy that blesses you, infuses you when you purify yourself and abide in silence, and then your private ego and your conscious effort gives way to a power of its own, greater than your human personality. Chuang Tzu, a very famous Taoist, he says, I know of a butcher who has a cleaver, a knife, that he hasn't sharpened for 20 years, but he has Wu Wei. When he cuts the bones of oxen, the cleaver finds the empty spaces between the bones. Why? Because he has Wu Wei. Purification, practicing silence. And I just want to repeat quickly what Taoism says, the greatest problem the human beings have, they just don't know when to stop. The example is a bow and arrow. You keep stretching the arrow, it'll go further and further, but if you keep on stretching, it'll break. Sharpen a knife, it'll become sharper, sharper, sharper. Keep on sharpening, it'll blunt and break. By the way, I'm thinking of this Zen story of overdoing. There's this example of an artist drawing a snake, but overdoes it and draws also little legs on the snake, overdoing it. Confucianism. Just one thing I'll tell you about Confucianism. Confucius, who lived at the same time as, this is a remarkable golden age in history. Confucius lived at the same time as the Buddha, also the same time as Lao Tzu, who wrote Tao Te Ching. There's a wonderful story of Confucius, who says, the story is that, the true story, there were some disciples who chose to study with Confucius, even though in some of those qualities, human qualities, they were superior to Confucius. And people were amazed. Why do these people study with you? Some of their qualities, they're superior to you. Confucius explained. Confucius said, yeah, this particular disciple of mine is far more eloquent than I am. This disciple is far more eloquent than I am, but does not know when to give a simple yes or no for an answer. This disciple is far more courageous than I am. This disciple is far more courageous than I am, but does not know when to be cautious. Let me give you a third one. This disciple is far more dignified, regal than I am, far more majestic than I am, but does not know when to be unassuming and humble, which is why they choose to study under me. Okay, I will cross out all other things I wanted to say, but I'll have to end with a story of the mullah, which I always share here. The mullah is a fictional character in Islam, a fictional character. But through this fictional character, many, many wonderful truths are conveyed. I'll give an example. And by the way, every story has many levels of meaning. The mullah is on his donkey, rushing through the marketplace. His family and friends, they say, mullah, stop, we want to talk to you. What does the mullah say? I'm so busy. They shout back, what are you so busy with? And the mullah says, I'm looking for my donkey. Story of our lives. Chasing money, titles, power, dramas and melodramas, forgetting the real happiness in life comes from what? From your relationships with family and friends, your circle of love. How do I know that? Well, the sages have been saying this for centuries. I don't know if you're familiar with the Harvard study, the longest Harvard study about happiness. 85 years by now. What is the number one factor to determine whether you'll be happy in life? And even they found not only happiness, your longevity of life. The number one factor was having reliable relationships in life. The number one factor, which is also confirmed by a 12-year study of Brigham Young University study. I've overdone it? So here's a mullah in London Museum. I've said this several times. Every time I've come here, I've said this story. The mullah is in London Museum, and there's a very learned professor who says, this artifact is about 1,000 years old. Mullah says, excuse me, it's 1,004 years old. The guide is annoyed. This is 20,000 years old. Excuse me, it's 20,004 years old. Now he's really annoyed. This is 50,000 years old. Excuse me, it's 50,004 years old. And this learned professor says, sir, you have a beard, you have a turban, which tells me you're from the mysterious East. But how can you be so precise about these dates? Mullah says, simple. I was here 4 years ago. At that time, you mentioned those dates. What is the story about? It's later than you think in your life. So the time is now, the place is here to do all that you want to do, to tell somebody, I love you, or I forgive you, or please forgive me. The time is now, the place is here, it's later than you think. And for me, it's much later than I think, so thank you so much. Thank you.
All that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, a prayer to you. May all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, my love. In every face may I see you, in every voice may I hear you, in all that is, may this be true, may we be one, may I be you, may all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, a prayer to you. May all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, my love. In every breath may I breathe you, in every drop may I taste you, in all that is, may this be true, may we be one, may I be you. La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah. May all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, a prayer to you. May all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, my love. In every touch may I feel you, in every heart may I feel you, in all that is, may this be true, may we be one, may I be you. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. May all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, a prayer to you. May all that I think and all that I do be a prayer to you, a prayer to you, my love. Be a prayer to you, my love. Be a prayer to you, my love. A prayer to you.
Let's give it up one more time for the amazingly talented Nathan as well. Nathan wrote that song too. That's his, which I just love it. Thank you. And thank you, Jamal, for such a wonderful talk. Thank you. I love Jamal's stories. There's a lesson in every story, and it fills my heart. Thank you. And now we come to the time in our service where we bless our love offerings. So now let's together say our offering statement. All together now. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. If you're here in person, please drop off your donations with the ushers as you exit the sanctuary. And to donate online, simply click on the donate link in your chat window, and you can give via all major credit cards. And coming up here at Unity, after our service today, please join Jamal for an afternoon workshop where we'll gain insights about living a life of joy, meaning, and fulfillment. The workshop begins at 1:15 and is provided by donation. And if you've never been to one of his workshops before, I really suggest, if you're able to attend. They are wonderful. And we want to also thank all the wonderful volunteers for Friday night. How many of you were here Friday night? Wasn't it amazing? It was amazing. And as always, so much depends on the volunteers here at Unity, so thank you to all the volunteers. Join us on Monday, June 22nd, from 7 to 8:30 in the lower level for a summer solstice ceremony circle. The summer solstice marks the longest day of the year, a moment when the light reaches its fullest expression before beginning its gradual return. It's a time to pause, acknowledge what has grown, and reflect on what is thriving in our lives. Together, we'll gather in community to honor this seasonal turning point through reflection, connection, and simple ceremony. All are welcome, and this gathering is offered by donation. Join our Course in Miracles group every Tuesday from 12:30 to 2:30 in the lower level. Learn along like-hearted individuals as you expand awareness. All are welcome, and your guidance really, or your presence really does enrich the circle. Reflective Roundtable is happening today after the service. Join us for a thoughtful small group conversation exploring the day's message through shared insights, deep listening, and meaningful connection in a welcoming, structured place. Our Mastermind Prayer Group meets every Sunday before service at 10 a.m. downstairs in the meditation room. This group offers a powerful way to align with your goals through the practice of unity prayer. And today's affirmative prayer chaplains are Margaret McLeod, Jennifer Solly, Brian Law, and on Zoom, Carolyn Conlon. If you'd like to receive a confidential prayer, our chaplains will be waiting for you in the front row after the music. Could you please stand so everyone can see you? And Brian's at the back. Thank you. So join us downstairs after the music for coffee, cookies, and conversations, or a round table. And next Sunday, we have our very own Randy Purcell sharing for Father's Day. Watch our website for all the details and how to tune in online if you can't make it in person. And now, as we bring our gathering to a close, please stand and join us together for our prayer for protection, followed by the peace song. Together. The light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us wherever we are. God is, and all is well.
Okay. La, 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 la. Let there be peace on earth and was meant to be with God as creator. Lonely all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth and let it begin with me.
If you're on YouTube, thank you so much for joining us. We send you our love and look forward to seeing you next week. And if you're on Zoom and want to pray confidentially with a prayer chaplain in a private room, please accept your breakout invitation, which will pop up on your screen shortly. Thank you so much for joining us. See you all next week, and God bless.
So good to see you.